What's up, YouTube? The Megatons just came out, and with them came a lot of much-needed reprints. Labrynth's a deck that kind of benefited pretty greatly from the reprints. You had your two most expensive, and honestly two only expensive archetype cards reprinted, Arius and Big Welcome. And then you also saw your two most useful generic extra cards, Typhoon and Chaos Age reprinted. Obviously, the SP reprint helped everyone, but SP is not that essential in this deck. I think that depending on how the Megatons really do affect the price, SP still might be out of budget for a lot of players, especially if you want to keep this specific build in the 120 to 150 range. I think maybe you can even get it down to 100. It really just depends on what the price point of the new cards lands at. Hopefully Typhoon and Chaos Angel will be below $15. Hopefully Eris and Big Welcome are about $5 or so. Hopefully cheaper, but we'll see. So this is a deck I took to locals the other day. I actually ended up winning this little pin set here, as well as a couple other goodies like some packs and stuff. Honestly, the deck performed really well. I didn't really go in with the anticipation to budget deck, but it just happened to be because everything got reprinted. And I don't own Perulia. If you own Perulia, you can definitely play it, but it's not really necessary. Personally, I'm just waiting for Fui and Rita because there's no events for me, at least until Weiss or Slando, aside from I think a couple regionals. And at that point, I'll either be judging the regionals or it's going to be like I'm not going to need Perulia or I can borrow it anyway, so not really a big deal. So anyway, let's get deck profile. I will start with the main deck. I play 3 Ariana. This is essentially your Stratos of the deck. It grabs literally anything in archetype. It also gives you draw power. But that effect's not quite as commonly used as the search effect, because you can only use one of her effects per turn, unfortunately. But she allows all of your 2-card combos to be more consistent because she's any card essentially in your deck. She's the only card that really makes you weak to Imperm and Veiler, but I think regardless it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so we run the 2 big girls, Lovely and Lady. Lady is a brick, Lovely is a super brick. Lady, you can still summon her from your hand, but you really don't want to open her, honestly. You want to just grab her when you need her. Though if you're opening her, sometimes can lead to some pretty crazy 3-4 card combos. But it's not really that important, so you play 1. The second one comes up in the grind game if you play it a little bit incorrectly or if you just play a very specific scenario. Though I just don't think it's worth playing, though you can if you really want to. I think both of these cards are just insane finishers. They're really good boss monsters for the deck. Both of them can set a card. Lady sets from deck and Lovely sets from graveyard. I think if either of those effects ever go off, you probably just win the game. Lovely also has an effect where they just can't ash your welcome traps. They can't respond to normal trap card effects, activations, with monster effects, so just really strong. So anyway, we are playing the furniture build, so 1 Kuklok. You search it whenever you need it. I don't think more than 1 is necessary. You can play 3, and it allows you to see your Kuklok plus other furniture combos more often. The problem is Kuklok by itself is just such a huge brick, it's not really worth doing that, because the chance of seeing those combos is still pretty low. So again, we're playing furniture, so we're playing 3 of both the pieces of that set. We're also playing Backjack, so these come really with Backjack. Otherwise, they just kind of turbo through your deck. They allow you to play a little bit faster, so instead of playing turn 3 when you go second, you get to play turn 2, which sounds like, oh, you can play turn 2, but I mean, that's honestly really important for a trap deck, so it helps with the tempo. Another tempo card, Arius. This card helps you so much going first, so much going second. Going first, you're able to resolve your welcome traps and summon Lovely and get that hand rip and just that tempo. And then going second, you're able to set your blowout traps like Karma Cannon or Punishment or Trap Trick, and you're able to stop your opponent, which you really need to. Because if your Yubel opponent full combos you probably lost because that board is just broken. 3 Backjack, so we're playing the Backjack. This card is honestly an honorary Labrynth member. He is so good, he is so synergetic with the deck. When he's into the graveyard, you look at your top 3 cards of your deck, and then you put him in any order you want. And then on your opponent's turn in the graveyard, you can banish him to mill the top card of your deck, and if it's a trap card, you can set it and activate that turn. So essentially, the combo here is you use it with a furniture. So you go furniture effect, pitch this, set your welcome trap, and then you are going to go backcheck effect, and then hopefully hit a trap card. If you hit like a Karma Cannon or Punishment or D-Bear, you can activate that turn. It's just super impactful going second. So that's it for the main deck. So that is main deck. That's it for the monsters, the Labrynth monsters. Holy crap, I cannot talk today. So we play a few hand traps. Play 2 Bestials and 2 Nibirus. So the thing with hand traps in this deck is you're never able to play that 12-15 number that a lot of the other decks can. But your engine can kind of focus as hand traps, right? It's like your furniture plus backcheck or your Arius plus a trap card can play as hand traps. So you don't necessarily need to play as many hand traps to still get that same number of interruptions, right? So we're playing these because these are the most synergetic with your deck. Nibiru Nibiru and then pitching Nibiru with the furniture still lets Nibiru clear the entire field while not giving your opponent a token. So it makes it harder for deck like Snake Eyes to play. Oh, almost knocked the camera over. Snake Eyes to play through it. And the Bestials are just really strong because they can stop Desiree, which is a really strong card against your deck. Or stop Caesar more often than not, which is also a really strong card against your deck. while also being synergetic with your Big Welcome, because Big Welcome bounces back to hand to reuse them. That's it for the monsters, and then we have one spell card in our deck. One Labrynth. This card makes all your trap cards better. So for normal traps, it's a trigger effect that allows you to special summon a fiend from graveyard. And for your Labrynth trap cards, it allows you to pop a card on while resolving your effect. So let's say I activate a Welcome Labrynth, I summon my guy, then I pop a card all in resolution. So my new guy will see that I pop that card. So you can summon Lovely, pop a card, and Lovely will trigger a new chain. So it's really, really strong. Basically makes all your trap cards better, which you kind of need to, because if your trap cards aren't as good as they can be, sometimes X will just kind of blow you out. Also, you really need the field spell to clear the Yugioh board, because it puts up so many cards. Like, you need to clear the openings and the Nightmare Paintings and the throws and stuff. So trap cards. 3 Big Welcome and 3 Little Welcome. Big Welcome is arguably the best card in your deck, because it summons a guy and triggers all your effects. It's like the card you activate and you go +4. Little Welcome is still good and you need it for consistency, but you don't really want to draw it as much, right? Because if you draw too many of these Welcome cards, they just start bricking in your hand, and then you just lose because you have infinite cards that just summon guys and only convert to interruptions. Hopefully one day we get a new Labrynth monster that's like an extra interruption, like Lovely. I don't know what it would do, but it'd be really cool. Maybe like a Book of Moon, right? Like, throw back to Tackle Crusader. That's the one, right? Tackle Crusader, the early lab builds, we discard a Book of Moon guy. So that's it for Labrynth traps. Then we play 3 Trap Trick, which I guess is technically more Labrynth traps because it's any trap in your deck. And then obviously we play the 3 Karma Cannon. Karma Cannon is just the best trap card, I think, right now in terms of interrupting your opponent or breaking boards. Set the whole field is just the same mechanic. 3 Imperm. This card is super strong because it's the best hand trap, I think, right now. It's the only hand trap Phantom can't negate, I guess, aside from Dominus Purge, but most extras can't play that card. You're able to trade with the Caesar more often than not and actually play your deck. Or you could trade with the Vargris, right? So you activate Board Breaker, they Vargris, then you chain Imperm when they try to negate it, right? When you go second, like Karma Cannon, Imperm, yeah. Anyway, you get why it's good. It's Imperm. Everyone's activated Imperm before. Last 2 trap cards, last 2 cards in the deck. 2 Dogmatic Punishment. This card's super flexible, and it gives deck removal, which it can sometimes, not really lack, but sometimes like you need to remove a lot of cards. You don't really have a lot of guys to kill through battle phase, right? So you definitely need the extra removal. It also is a little bit consistency, because you could obviously send Garou and get that draw. So you play 40 in the main deck. I think that's the perfect number. You have a lot of 2-3 combos. You don't really want to play over 40. Okay, on the extra deck, I play 3 Muttcracker. This card helps convert resources back into your monsters, like Lovely area on the graveyard, as well as like having a protection effect. So like if they try to kill something, you contribute a monster, including itself, to protect it, which is like fine, I guess. But really, you're just using it some back. Also, importantly, and we're gonna do a lot, is it can come back Chaos Angel, and Chaos Angel is not once per turn. So yeah. So for the rest of my Link monsters, at least the ones that you're summoning, it's Anima, Dark, and SP. So like I said, depending on the price of the 10s, SP might still be expensive. If it is, you can easily replace it with a Unicorn or a Phoenix. Especially because those are both fiends, and you get fiend locked by your Little Welcome anyway. But if you have SP or if you can afford SP, I would say definitely get this card. It's a staple for a reason. It's absurdly broken. That's it for the Link monsters, at least the ones you summon. And then you have your 2 kind of stars of the show in the extra deck, your Typhon and your Chaos Angel. Both these cards are reprinted. I'm hoping they will both be below $15. They're looking like they are going to be. Hopefully Typhoon's below $10, but I honestly don't know about that one. Anyway, Typhoon works really well with your deck because you're not really doing a lot on your turn, right? You're usually just going to normal summon a guy like Lovely or something like that, and you're passing. So having the extra push when you go second just helped a lot. And Chaos Angel helps with the removal. Again, it's not much return, so it works really well with Muttcracker. And both these cards are fiends, so when you're fiend locked through Welcome, you still get to use them. Now, if you're punishment locked, obviously you can't go in the extra deck. Speaking of punishment, these are all the punishment cards you play. So it's 1 Packbit, 2 Intis, 2 Garua, 1 Berfmont, and then 1 Bouffalinus. Let me move these over. Bouffalinus only exists because you can send Garou with it, and it's a high attack target. If there's something over 4K, or something over 35 on field, you just can't punish it. I mean, sucks, I guess. Yeah, these aren't necessary because, again, I play a certain card in the extra deck. So you want to have multiples of these because you want your punishment to be as live as possible. Packbit's really cool because it allows you to have a non-destruction removal, which is that kind of lacks sometimes. Unfortunately, you have to discard a card, but whenever you have all your furniture rolling, the discard doesn't really matter. And obviously, this is just some back your Lovely whenever it gets banished by like a Bestial or an SP. That's it for the extra deck. We're going to the side deck now. I play 3 Phantasme. This card is really broken putting a body in the field, which makes you instantly go into like able to go into Typhoon when you go second, as well as like letting you cultivate your hand so you can see those multiple card combos more often, is just super important. Then you play 3 Lava Golem. This could also be Spear Mode. Spear Mode is a little more impactful versus Yubel than Lava Golem is because you can distribute more. Lava Golem you usually find enough, and it has a wider matchup spread. So the matchup spread is a little bit less relevant whenever you know you're mostly playing versus Yubel anyway, which deck can struggle against a lot when you go second, but that's every deck in the format. As for the monsters in my side deck, I just like my spicy tech in my side deck. I play 3 Extravagance. This card is honestly really funny because the whole theory behind it is you take out your back deck when you're going first and put an Extravagance. That way you just get that extra card. You can bait Ash a little bit and just have like the value of Extravagance. Not playing the extra Typhoons or Chaos doesn't matter that much because you're only having it when you go first. And when you go first, those cards are less important, right? So then to combo with Extravagance, you want a lot of Lingering Floodgates because we're not playing like a Judgment or a Lord in that slot instead. So you have quite a few Lingering Floodgates here in the way of 3 barrier and 2 barrier and 3 Mistaken Arrest. Mistaken Arrest was a tech I was put on like not too long ago, and I initially thought it was kind of troll. So I think this card's honestly just broken. Every time I activated it, it was just absurd because you're able to just take a card of their hand, right? Let's say I put my Yubel opponent activates Terraforming, I chain Mistaken Arrest. Now they don't have that Terraforming and they're locked, and they like the whole combo just sucks because typically Yubel wants to have that first search, right? When they get that first search, they're usually fine. But this denies that first search. It denies it versus every deck, not just Yubel. So even decks where Joel's not typically not good against, the Mistaken Arrest can just come in and just completely like, obliterate, honestly. And then like the last card I have is Anti-Spell. This card's not a Lingering Floodgate, but it turns off all of the background removal that normally they would use. So it's basically Lingering Floodgate. They have to have a Cosmic, honestly. If you flip this, the game's over because if they don't have an immediate answer to this, you're always getting your turn 3, right? So and then once you get to turn 3 with this deck, you basically just win. So that's it for the deck. 40 main, 15 side, 15 extra. This deck is pretty cheap now, so I hope everyone can check it out, have a good time. I've been playing this deck for a while. I think it's really fun. So have a good day, everyone. See ya.